Hey everyone, it's Michael Kikle. I hope you're doing well today, and I have a review here for See No Evil 2, the 2014 sequel to the 2006 See No Evil movie. And this was a straight-to-video release. I don't have a physical copy of it. I watched it on Tubi. I had never seen this movie before, despite being a massive fan of the first movie and having seen it over and over again back in the day in the mid-2000s. I had actually forgotten that this sequel had been made because it was straight to video and no one talked about it. And now people I'm seeing more and more are randomly reviewing this movie and the first movie again, just all of a sudden, like the last couple of weeks or so. And when I went on vacation, I decided to watch this movie, hoping that it would be as good as people had said it was, and that's fucking bullshit. See No Evil 2 is terrible. I'm going to get into that in a moment, but you would think from the casting alone that this would have been a good setup for everybody being here, but personally, I don't really think so. So Glenn Jacobs comes back, Kane from WWE, in a film that is now directed by the Soska sisters, who did, I think they're working with Eric July now on the Yaira books. I haven't read those, but they're there, and it's kind of controversial apparently, so fuck them. Not the Soska sisters, but fuck anybody who cares. They did American Mary, which was really their big first movie they did. I've never seen that. I've heard a lot of good things. I'll probably watch it at some point. But they didn't write this movie. It's actually written by two guys who eventually went on to do, 2 years later, 12 Rounds 3. Yeah, you remember 12 Rounds with John Cena? There's a third? Isn't that the one with Randy Orton? I'm pretty sure I heard there was one with Randy Orton. Maybe that's the second one. I don't know. But anyway, wasn't the second or third one called, Unloaded or something? I don't know. Reloaded? That's a Matrix movie. Anyway, who cares? So, See No Evil 2 takes place on the same night that the original one ended. Of course, Kane playing Jacob Goodnight, the villain of that first movie. He's huge, he's hulking, and he's crazy and scary. He's even more crazy in this movie. He actually talks a lot more than he did in the original film in this movie. Not with a ton of one-liners, but he kind of just, hulks around mumbling sometimes. But anyway, he's been taken to the morgue, and one of the people working at the morgue is actually Danielle Harris, which was kind of surprising. A group of her friends show up, as well as her brother and his kind of girl toy girlfriend, not really girlfriend, kind of friends with benefits, but they haven't gotten to the benefits part yet, something like that. They all show up to celebrate Danielle Harris' birthday on this particular night, and Jacob Goodnight's body is in that morgue. Catherine Isabel is one of the friends here, from Ginger Snaps, from Freddy vs. Jason. I think she was in Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark as well. Catherine Isabel, I've only recently become a really big fan of, even though I saw things like Goosebumps and Freddy vs. Jason most of my lifetime. But she is so weird and weirdly hot in this movie for some reason. She's bizarre, but she's in it quite a bit. I actually think this is one of the better performances in recent years, even though this was 10 years ago when this sequel came out, from her and Danielle Harris. There's some other people in here that give decent performances. I don't really care about them. I'm here for Kane. Kane kills it here. Glenn Jacobs is so good as this villain. Again, even though I don't really like the directions they take him quite a bit in this movie, including a new costume that's goofy as hell on the thumbnail I picked for the video and for the cover of the movie. He has this clear mask that looks super goofy. I don't like that either. It reminds me of this straight-to-video movie from when I was a kid, from 2000 or 2001, in the Hollywood videos and blockbusters out there. I would see it. It was called Bleed, and it looked like a knockoff bald Michael Myers mask. Very clearly, in hindsight, like a CGI cover, but that's kind of what this mask reminds me of. I don't know. Not a fan. I don't like this movie, as I made it very clear. I think the kills are boring. I think the practical effects they use for that are kind of lame. I don't remember much CGI, but it's been almost 2 weeks since I saw this movie in the first one again, so, there's a little bit of trouble there, but I was not into this. I like the kind of morgue setting. It's kind of more on the side of being a hospital, but being a morgue. A lot of things laying around that morgues use and not hospitals, so that was kind of interesting. The casting, like I said, is kind of okay. Danielle Harris and Catherine Isabel are pretty good, but that's about it, man. This movie really doesn't have much to offer, nor do I think the Soska sisters did a great job directing it. I don't know about American Mary. Maybe that was a higher budget. I kind of doubt it since it was before this. But I didn't really like what they did with this movie. Again, there's a lot of directions and twists and turns that I don't really think are that good, to be honest with you. There are so many parts of this movie that I swear I've seen before, maybe on YouTube clips, maybe in different reviews I've watched, but I know I've never seen this movie before. I don't know, it was a weird little oddball stir of echoes, Kevin Bacon psychic connection I had with this movie that I'm like, I saw this shit before, somehow, some way, but never watched it, so I don't know. But I wanted it to be more creative with the kills. It doesn't really have that, which was surprising because the first film, coming out in 2006, nearly 20 years ago, had some of the best kills and creativity behind those kills that I think I've ever seen in movies. And I'm a huge slasher fan, so I've seen most things, even the bad ones that had some creative, gory effects like The Prowler. That first See No Evil did a lot that I don't think people give it credit for. This one, not so much. Not really digging most of it. I think it's kind of bad, to be honest with you. I really kind of think it sucks, to be honest with you. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not even really watchable, though. So, being a straight-to-video film, this is one of those ones that give those kinds of movies a really bad name, sadly enough. And I wanted to like it because I want to like the Soska sisters, even though I haven't tried American Mary yet. They have a reputation. They've had a reputation by the time this movie came out. I think they had only done a couple of movies before this, so I don't know. Maybe it was an experience thing or whatever, but I'm actually very, very surprised that we did not get a third one by now, or even a fourth one by now, with how big things like Terrifier are. But that's just me. I don't know. I think it's pretty awful, to be honest with you. There's not really much to even praise about the movie. If I had to rate it on a 5-star basis, I'd give it like a 2 out of 5 stars. That's about it. It was good to see Kane back playing this role of Glenn Jacob, or Jacob Goodnight. All those 3 names are fucking me up. Anyway, it's good to see him back for this. I like him a lot. I always have when I was in WWE as a teen. But that's about it, man. That's all you should watch this for, because Danielle Harris and Catherine Isabel don't get enough to work with to do an exceptional job, which is not their fault. But it's kind of a lame movie. It's like a lot of these straight-to-video slashers. They're never really all that great unless it's like a Chucky movie, like Curse or Cult, you know? But anyway, have you seen See No Evil 2? What do you think about it? I'd love to hear all of your thoughts and comments about it down in the comments section down below. Let me know all of your thoughts about both movies, which one you like more, which one you don't. I've actually seen some very controversial opinions where apparently people like this movie more than the first one, which I don't think I could ever say that, ever in my entire history of living or future of living. I don't think I could say that shit. So, anyway, thank you guys for watching. God bless you all. Catch you later, and goodbye.